Hello guys, my name is Wish and today I'm going to be persuading you guys why gun laws should be stricter. According to a 2018 report by Small Arms Survey, a Geneva-based organization, there are 393 million firearms possessed by U.S. citizens. Because of this, more Americans have died and from gun-related injuries after 2020 more than every year. With the easy access of firearms, we have seen multiple tragedies in America, whether it's school shootings or homicides. If there were changes made to ensure safety while owning a firearm, murders in America would decrease tremendously. I have several friends who have lost cousins, friends, and parents because of gun violence and firearms in the wrong hands. Personally, I've lost a cousin a few years ago due to gun violence in front of a barber shop. It affected our family, specifically my aunt and his daughter. She could still have her son, and my cousin could still have her dad if only the firearm wasn't in the wrong hands. There are multiple families around the world who are forever mourning and affected because of their family member being murdered because of a gun. Today, I will persuade you guys to help make gun laws stricter. I'm going to mention the reasons and steps we can make and take to make our country more safer and to enforce gun safety. One step we can take to make gun laws stricter is to increase the age that a person is able to get a firearm. The Washington Post reported a catalog of sex and age of mass shooters. They are usually male and under 21 of age. We saw at Robb Elementary, May 21st, 2020, a tragedy. A former student, Salvador Ramos, entered the school and killed multiple children and 2 adults. New York Post stated that he spent his 18th birthday purchasing this gun. That means this young boy, 18 years old, has meditated on this murder and planned on his 18th birthday to purchase this gun. Just imagine how we could have avoided this situation if gun laws were stricter and he wasn't able to purchase a gun at the age 18. The trade states that private individuals and unlicensed sellers can sell to anyone, including underage children, without background checks. Last year, a 19-year-old was able to purchase a gun without proper license or background check and killed 14 classmates in Florida. We see here that because a lot of gun businesses and gun owners sell guns illegally, we see how that can affect our children as well, as they're able to go in these places and get these guns without proper knowledge or without proper usage and training prior. This is also an important strategy to consider simply because key cognitive processes continue to develop until 26 years of age, including impulse control. Though an 18-year-old's brain is similar to a fully mature adult, it's still not fully developed, proving that they are not able to make the best decisions. So we see how children being able to get these guns is off impulse. And though the brain is fully developed, their impulse is still being developed, and so they're able to make this bad decisions so quickly that could literally change so many people's lives. And that's why it's so important that we raise the age to get a firearm. So children under 21, people under 21 years old, aren't able to make these fast decisions and make the decisions to cause things like mass shootings, public shootings in malls or parks, or even simply like just killing off impulse. I just spoke about why we should increase the age to get a firearm. Now I'm going to speak on the use of high-capacity magazines. We should ban high-capacity magazines because they too often turn into mass shootings. The Mother Jones investigation found that high-capacity magazines were used at least 50% of 62 mass shootings between 1982 and 2012. When they're used in mass shootings, the death rate rose 63% and the injury rate rose 156%. Senior Vice President of Public Safety for ShotSpotter, David H. Shipman, and for Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearm, and Explosives, states that high-capacity magazines turn killers into killing machines. Based on a February 2019 NPR poll, 65% of Americans believe banning them will reduce gun violence. Now we see here how high-capacity magazines have a huge impact on mass shootings. With these in the hands of anyone, there's most likely to always be a mass shooting. If we reduce and take away the use of these magazines and take away the privilege to be able to have these, I truly believe that mass shootings will decrease tremendously in America. I just talked about high capacity magazines and their unsafe use, which causes multiple homicides. Now I'm going to talk about how guns are rarely used for self-defense. Now I'm going to speak about how guns are rarely used for self-defense. Britannica article states that of the 29,618,300 violent crimes committed with guns between 2007 and 2011, 0.79% of victims protected themselves with a threat of use. Of the 84,495,500 property crimes committed between 2007 and 2011, 0.12% of victims protected themselves with a threat of use of a firearm. In 2010, there were 230 justifiable homicides in which a private citizen used a firearm to kill a felon, compared to 8,275 criminal gun homicides. None of the 62 mass shootings between 1982 and 2012 was stopped by an armed civilian. So we see how guns are rarely used for self-defense. Most of the time, guns are used for either mass shootings, suicides, or homicides. We see here that most of the time when people do have a firearm, it's never used to protect themselves. And when it comes to property robberies, or when it comes to just like things as just protecting themselves, guns are rarely used for those reasons. Guns are always used to attack and to basically kill. And that's why these guns being able to be so accessible can really and will continue to affect America unless we make stricter gun laws. In conclusion, first, I spoke about how we must increase the age to own a gun or to get a firearm. Second, I believe that we should ban high-capacity magazines because they too often turn into mass murders. And third, I mentioned how guns are rarely used for self-defense. With recent mass shootings and overall homicides, we should consider the people who own guns and the victims who have died because of the person with a gun. Consider the parents who have lost their children because of a gun in the wrong hands. Let's have empathy to change the world. It's important that we create stricter gun laws to protect our country. I truly believe that if we raise the age to get a firearm, if we take into consideration the statistics of the people protecting themselves with a firearm, if we consider how these high-capacity magazines truly cause mass murders, I believe that we will truly be able to decrease and fewer homicides and suicides and truly change our world. Thank you so much for listening.